go. And they were not, they didn't move, they stayed where they were warned again, and then still they stayed where they were, and then that's when arrest began happening. So that is what Jenny told me, and I just wanted to be transparent with you all and let you all know what I know. So I'm not too sure of anything beyond that information. That is what we were told, and I wanted to share that with you. Okay, I am proud of us tonight. Thank you all for engaging in dialogue that can be difficult. We've been doing a lot of that this semester, I think, this year really, and I continue to be really proud of what this body does, so thank you. Like I mentioned earlier, like what Ian said earlier, we're going to be going to the Ohio Student Government Summit, and Landon has reached out to the coordinator of that summit to get time in the schedule to talk to other Ohio universities about coming together on a letter to our state senators that encourage them to stop actions such as this, and particularly that would negatively impact out students or green students. We have that, we'll be crafting it. Ian and Graduate Student Senate already has something crafted. We'll probably most likely adopt what that is and move forward and continue to get as many schools in Ohio behind that and send that to our state representatives to let them know this is not something that student governments, Ohio schools believe in at all. Other things, so Interim President David Discutner he's tentatively coming next Wednesday to introduce himself to us, answer any questions you all have about anything. So unless plans change, look forward to hearing from him next week. EPC met, we talked about benefits and voted on a continuation of a 5% increase in healthcare benefits. It's been kind of on the horizon now, and it was unanimously voted on. I'd like to yield some time to Mitchell, actually, who's going to talk about the resolution that will be coming forward next week regarding graduate fees.
Okay, so let me put me on the spot there.
Sorry, I should have thought that before.
So Ian and I and a couple of other executives for GSS have been hammering away at the administration for, well, longer than Ian's been president. It's been about a 3-year process. And we all pay your own fees, right? Well, graduate students that are GAs and TAs, which many of you have probably had in some respect or another, we have to pay them essentially to do our job. So we have to pay a technology fee even if we're using Blackboard. Or we have to pay a printing fee even though we have to have handouts and whatever classes. And so we've been petitioning with budget neutral solutions that don't affect anybody in this room to, make this very substantive but very gradual change in terms of a buy down. And that's been a supposed priority at the university since at least 2005, 2006, is to reinvest in the graduate students enough money so that it doesn't take away roughly $1,200 away from us, where the average GA salary is $11,000. So imagine having $11,000 before taxes, then paying roughly 15% on that in taxes, and then $1,200 out of that. And so we're just coming to you to get your support, so it's not just GSS. I mean, we're only 18%, but if we have 100% of the student body behind the initiative, we think it might carry more weight. Again, I say that our solutions to the problem that we brought is budget neutral and do not impact your tuition, do not impact your general fees whatsoever. So that's what I'm going to be bringing. We sent supporting documents to Landon, who I presume will share them with you, that he and I put together, and we did a presentation for the academic leadership last December. I can talk more about it after you have all the numbers in front of you. If you have more questions, my email is somewhere you can find, I'm sure.
On the roster.
So I'm pretty accessible, unless you're against it, and then I probably won't talk to you. No, I'm just kidding. But if you have questions, we'd love to talk about it because graduate students are almost one of 5 people on campus. So, a lot of the initiatives that you're bringing forward affect graduate students too, and vice versa. So, that's all right.
I just wanted you all to know about that to your potential, because that will be something that will be put forward to you next week. So just to give you that heads up. And then we still have one spot open to attend the Ohio Student Government Summit. So if you are interested and haven't let me know yet, please just send me a short email why you're interested in going. And then for Senate Member of the Week, John Slasher. So John has really impressed us in his new role as Residence Life Commissioner. He really stepped into the plate right away, started getting meetings with people, talking about different initiatives, going to track and presenting and creating a lot of really great connections. Courtney, did you want to say anything else?
John's great. So I can't put me on the spot too. I think an important notion here too is that John has been working hard prior to his step up to the role of Residence Life Commissioner. He also took on the charge with Jacob when the referendum outreach was happening to take a key outreach sector, and he was the one responsible for getting all of the flyers up in the residence halls, getting Sarah, Alexi, and the other directors of Residence Life on board with that, took all of them over himself. And then prior to discovering that he would be the Residence Life Commissioner, he was working hard to get his commission on board and speaking with them about how they were going to take on the different initiatives. So this is not just a matter of John working hard for the past 2 weeks. He's been really prepared to hit the ground running when we start the semester. So we can okay, so I would like to start to take a second by taking a second just to reprocess and reevaluate the fact that despite the fact that they will be released, 7 Bobcats were arrested, taken away in handcuffs by ODP or State Highway Patrol tonight while we are meeting here to stand up for something that they believe in, regardless of your opinion on how that's carried out. That should strike very deeply with you. It should resonate with everyone in this room. That there are people who are willing to, as was mentioned multiple times in this room, risk everything. There's a lot. There are people who could have lost their education for being arrested for this notion. And so, when you have the privilege to speak on behalf of those students for what you're asking this university to do, I hope that you keep that in mind. That should resonate very deeply with you. And a way that students have the ability to express their opinion is to stand in and to protest and to walk. And you are lucky enough to have a role that the administrators see. So keep that in mind, take that into account. That being said, I'd like to reiterate that pausing a meeting and stopping what was happening there would have been nothing productive that did happen. So in lieu of being there, what you did do was pass the resolution that now will call on this university to designate itself a sanctuary. And that is really reinforcing what those students were standing up for. So I commend you for that. I know that it was an uncomfortable situation for everyone to recognize that there were Bobcats being arrested and then go about business. And I think that I'd like you all to keep in mind that what you did do was back up what they were saying with your vote. And so kudos to you for that. Now I encourage you to reach out to them, seek those Bobcats who were protesting, who were being taken away, who may not be feeling comfortably about being in handcuffs or being arrested. Find them. I'm sure we all know someone in the room who was at the protest. Go share what you know. Go find how you can be supportive, and go commend them for doing a wonderful thing that is very different from what we did here, but both hopefully seeking the same goal. Secondly, I believe very, very firmly in making sure that everyone in the room, when we are voting on things, is conscious of what we're saying and what we're talking about and what the outcomes of that will be. And so, once again, echoing my kudos for having a difficult, and Hannah's as well, for having a difficult dialogue. There are a lot of things that are intertwined in this bill, 161708, title being designated as sanctuary campus. There are a few different things in those resolve clauses. And so I want to offer any information that we do have on each of those resolve clauses, just so that you know like what the status is following this meeting. So that the university harassment policy be updated to include immigration status as a protected category. Faculty Senate voted on that and passed it as well. So hopefully in the next meeting, we'll see some awesome progress on how we can make that happen. That the university not comply with requests for information on the immigration status of students, faculty, or staff unless compelled to do so by court order. This is the resolve clause, or this phrase in general is what we see most commonly amongst universities that designate themselves sanctuary or that have designated themselves sanctuary. The most common denominator amongst those universities is that particular thing, that the university will only offer immigration information if compelled by federal court or compelled by federal law. I think it should be made clear that by nature of a student being enrolled in Ohio University, the federal government already has that information, just so that you all know. So what we just vowed to, like what we committed to, was not sharing information that, like, for the most part, the government already has, just so that everyone is aware of that. A lot of that referring to like the DREAM students, the DACA students that we mentioned before. So Ohio law allows Ohio University to admit students who don't have a social security card, but it has to be recognized that they are enrolled as a student that doesn't have documentation, and that information has to be regularly updated. So just be aware that that is a thing. A lot of like counter arguments that we hear are like, hey, like, you know, that would imply that an immigration officer would walk up to Hannah and say, like, let me see your information. And that hasn't happened yet that we know, but also like a lot of unprecedented things are happening in this administration. So like, you never know what's gonna happen. So I think it's awesome that we're looking out for each other in that sense. That the university offered distance learning opportunities for students who are deported or otherwise detained as a result of the changing law. That we know, per our advisors, no students of Ohio University have been deported and no students were detained when this law took place, when the ban happened. No Ohio University students, thankfully, were caught or detained there. Let it be known that the distance learning structure in those nations just does not exist. We don't have that infrastructure currently. Hopefully that's something that we can look toward establishing. We don't know how that can happen, but I think it's a great mission that you push for that. And then same thing with assigning the administrative office to be that council and to be that support, that funding, that office, that job title that just doesn't exist. And so what you did was like call for the university to create that. So I know that was a little lengthy, but I want to make sure that we are clear on what we just asked the university to do and how we are calling ourselves a sanctuary. And that will be the end of my report with a reiteration of kudos to all of you. Go check out your Bobcats. I think you did a great thing in committing to our Bobcat pledge and backing up the stance that you gave before about fighting to protect all of our students. So thank you for that. And that's the end of my report.
I think Lord, we hit on a lot of kind of just explaining everything the sanctuary campus bill that you voted for. Kind of a lot of these things I was just trying to be able to make clear before and separate that from other bill that we denounced about the 700. In regards to the blood drive, I was there. It was lots of people came out. They were having to turn walk-ins away because so many people signed up. So good job. Kudos to everyone. I don't know if you know the final numbers, but I think it's pretty safe to say we hit our goal. I think it was like, I think she said it was like 40 people needed for a successful blood drive, so I think about that. Thank you for that. Early next week, I think it's Tuesday or so, Hannah and I are presenting to the deans, all of the college and other important administrators regarding the SAC funding increase. We're finally getting some in front of some people. It may delay us again, you know, that would be a surprise, but that could happen. I'm also missing Senate next Wednesday because I have a graduate school interview. So maybe I'll appoint a proxy. Maybe it'll be a surprise. Is that you send a proxy? Yeah, maybe. So yeah, I guess I'll have to appoint a proxy. Yeah. All right. I tried to send proxies before. I just haven't been allowed. But so youth fund $51,134, SAC $42,219, Senate $13,163. Of that, $7,100 allocated on spent. I was gonna pull up the organization's SAC funded, but I didn't we fund this thing for China, but I believe SAC was funded $5,000 this week, and you fund was 15.
We fund was 10,000 exactly, so altogether we funded about 15,000. Definitely keep your eyes out for a lot of students out there.
And those are true and accurate, that's about all.
Okay, so office hour form for last week is open tonight to 11:59. Make sure you submit those. The office is looking great because we got the office supplies cleaned it up so everyone. We reorganized, well, Danny and myself, we reorganized the closet so that everything's a little bit more structured. So if you do need anything, help yourself. There's colored paper in there. There are, of course, wet naps and things of that nature to clean up after yourself. Like Hannah said about the OSGS summit, I'll be there in the capacity for OSGA as the chairman. And I know we have had conversations about, or at least I've asked around student government presidents in Ohio about a majority of them are doing things already in line with what we've done tonight. So it looks like, it's more than likely it looks like that all 13 institutions in Ohio will probably put their signature on a piece of paper to send a line to the State House about how we feel about the executive order in sanctuary, maybe sanctuary camps. That will be included on the first draft, but maybe that will change. So that's 400,000 students where their voices be represented through 13 people is roughly 400,000 students. So that's very significant. And I will be bringing it up next week at a meeting with the Inter-University Council. So they're kind of like the lobbying arm for all universities in Ohio, and I have a meeting with their governmental relations reps next week. We're going to be discussing the budget, the state budget. Some of you might know that the governor just released the budget. There's some positive-ish things about higher education in there. But we'll be discussing that and really just increasing the student voice up at the State House through a collective body. And of course, the things that Nick will be doing and Ham will be doing on an individual basis. Oh, there are 2 committee openings still on the Community Service and Social Activity Committee. If you are interested, please let myself or Kelly know. So I can be your connection chair. Sarah's not here. Merch is still open till February 11th. I think that's what. Well, it's like it's 8 to 11 or 12. It's a Friday of the week of the 11th. But the merch looks great. Shout out to our graphic designer president up there. So order that. Let's see what else. That's it. Oh, someone else.
I have a question about office hours, and I might be confused, but when I first found out that we wanted said something about like if your extra hours can be like the same every single week, you don't have to fill it out every week.
That was for the form about when you would be holding them. So because I post those publicly, so people know like kind of when you're going to be in the office.
So I should continue to send one each week,
Correct.
if it's the same that I send per
Correct.
week. So, okay.
Yep. Because things change from when you reported them week 1 to week 7. So just keeping it current. Yep.
Hey guys, so we are finalizing stuff with SPS. We had their director come in last week to talk to us about some constitutional changes. So we're working hard on that. We have started a new process by which we're going through the rules and procedures. So expect probably a lot more those resolutions in the future and corrections that. Other than that, thanks for bearing with us through everything we've done so far, and I'm probably passing this.
also have a report.
Thank you for your honest answers on the email, Sam. We appreciate it. We need it.
Yeah, I do. I appreciate you all leading into what are incredibly difficult conversations for many of us. Note that if you would like to discuss further, have questions, need to debrief, that I'm here, and happy to do that with you. And I'm willing to speak for Jenny and Jason and say the same if you don't want to talk to me. But thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
All in favor?
I told you.